You know those moments when someone irritates you for no obvious reason. A post online sets you off. A stranger's confidence feels threatening. Or someone's attitude feels wrong even though they haven't done a single thing to hurt you. You feel this emotional jolt in your chest, but you cannot explain why. And a quiet voice inside you whispers, "Why did that bother me so much?" Most people ignore that voice. They bury it. They chalk it up to being moody or sensitive. But others, they listen. They get curious. Because those reactions, the ones you feel before you can explain them, they tell you something important. Something dangerous to avoid and transformative if embraced. What you are meeting in those moments is not the other person. You are meeting your shadow. And understanding that hidden part of yourself might be the most important psychological work you ever do. To understand the shadow, you need to go back to childhood. When you were young, you expressed everything freely. You cried when you felt pain. You got angry when something upset you. You demanded attention. You asked for love without hesitation. Then the world trained you. Stop crying, that's weak. Calm down, anger is bad. Don't be too loud. Don't be too much. Piece by piece, you learned which parts of yourself were acceptable and which ones needed to be hidden. The traits that earned love stayed on the surface. The traits that threatened love got pushed underground. Those rejected parts never disappear. They become the shadow. The unconscious storage room for everything you decided was unsafe to express, even if some of those qualities were actually good. And that is the part most people misunderstand. The shadow does not only contain your guilt, anger, jealousy, or selfishness. It also contains your ambition, your power, your brilliance, your confidence, your joy. Any trait that wasn't welcome in your environment got exiled. Not because it was wrong, but because you learned it wasn't allowed. Here is where Jung's insight becomes painfully accurate. The more you reject a part of yourself, the more powerfully it controls you from the dark. It leaks out in ways you do not recognize. This is projection. You take what you can't accept in yourself and see it in others. You judge people for traits you secretly possess. You resent people for qualities you suppress. You attack people for behaviors you mirror. It is the reason someone's confidence triggers you. The reason someone's weakness irritates you. The reason someone's joy makes you uncomfortable. Your reactions are not random. They are maps. They point straight to the parts of yourself you have not integrated. Your shadow is always trying to get your attention. There is a psychological phenomenon called enantiodromia. When you suppress something long enough, it eventually erupts in its opposite form. The nicest person you know suddenly explodes with rage. The quiet person becomes cruel. The moral crusader gets caught doing the very thing they condemn. That is not hypocrisy. That is the shadow breaking through. The more tightly you try to control it, the more violently it expresses itself. Social media has amplified this. People curate perfect personas. They perform goodness, intelligence, emotional maturity. But the parts they reject, the envy, the insecurity, the hunger for power, the desire for attention, those get projected outward. This is why online mobs form so quickly. People are not purifying society. They are purging their own shadows by attacking people who represent what they cannot face in themselves. Collective shadow work done badly. But the real transformation happens when you begin doing the work properly. Shadow integration. Integration does not mean acting out every impulse you suppressed. It means acknowledging it, accepting it, owning it. It means saying, yes, I have anger. Yes, I have jealousy. Yes, I have selfishness. Yes, I have pride. I have desires I don't always like. And also, yes, I have power. Yes, I have talent. Yes, I have dreams I've been afraid to claim. You become whole not by choosing your light and rejecting your dark, but by recognizing that both are part of you. Your persona is who you pretend to be. Your shadow is who you fear you are. Your true self is the integration of both. This is individuation. Becoming the full version of yourself rather than the edited one the world trained you to be. There is another layer to the shadow that most people miss, the golden shadow. Sometimes the traits you project onto others with admiration are actually parts of yourself you have not claimed. You see someone talented and feel inferior. You see someone confident and feel small. You see someone powerful and shrink. But admiration is projection too. The qualities you worship in others are often qualities you possess but have buried. You are not drawn to their light by accident. You are drawn because that same light exists in you. Your shadow has simply been hiding it. The golden shadow is your suppressed potential. Here is where philosophy meets psychology. Nietzsche believed that maturity means holding the contradictions inside us without collapsing into shame or denial. You are not meant to be purely good or purely bad. You are meant to be whole. Modern neuroscience agrees. Suppressing emotions makes them stronger. Avoiding difficult inner experiences increases stress. Psychological flexibility, acknowledging and integrating all parts of yourself leads to better mental health, better relationships, and better decision-making. Jung was right. The shadow you refuse to face becomes your master. The shadow you integrate becomes your power. So how do you begin? Start with your triggers. Every strong emotional reaction is a message. Ask, what part of myself am I seeing in them? What quality am I denying in myself? When did I learn that this part of me was not allowed? Then explore the persona, the version of yourself you perform. What does it hide? What does it protect? Watch your dreams. They show you what your waking mind refuses to see. Your shadow speaks clearly while you sleep. And above all, be radically honest. Not performatively honest. Not socially acceptable, honest. But real honest. I am not always kind. I am not always generous. I am not as evolved as I pretend. I have darkness in me. Owning this does not make you worse. It makes you conscious. And consciousness is what takes the shadow's power away. In a world obsessed with being good, being perfect, being correct, shadow work is rebellion. It is choosing authenticity over performance. It is choosing wholeness over purity. It is choosing to meet yourself fully instead of living as half a person. The shadow is not your enemy. It is everything you pushed away in order to survive. And it has been waiting patiently for you to reclaim it. Because the moment you face the part of yourself you fear the most is the moment you stop being controlled by it. That is analytical psychology. Not a path to becoming perfect, a path to becoming whole. And the question is not, how do I get rid of my shadow? You cannot. The real question is, how do I make peace with it? Because the moment you stop running from the darkness within you is the moment you discover the light hidden inside it.